All right, so we've got this sales letter for ideas for landscaping.
Okay.
And you want to know if it's the real deal or just hype?
Yeah, these online products, they're everywhere these days, right?
Exactly.
Promising like the perfect landscaping without spending a fortune.
Yeah.
Or needing to hire a designer.
Right. But how do we know, if they're really good or if it's all just clever marketing?
Mm-hmm.
So this letter starts out by talking about a problem we all know.
Yeah.
Designer fees are crazy high.
Oh, yeah.
And then those landscaping magazines,
Right.
they all look the same.
Ugh, totally.
So they're kind of setting us up right.
Yeah, they are.
Making us think about wanting something unique and personal.
Exactly.
And at the same time, they're making us doubt those traditional options. And then bam, here comes ideas for landscaping.
Okay.
With like thousands of designs and DIY instructions. They even say you could have like a whole new yard.
Oh, wow.
In just one weekend.
Really? Just a weekend?
That's what they say.
Wow.
It almost sounds too good to be true, right?
Yeah, that's the first warning sign I always look for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when something sounds super easy or fast,
Right.
Landscaping's usually way more involved than that.
Yeah, it's not just picking a design and planting some flowers, is it?
No, not at all.
It makes me wonder, who are they targeting with this weekend warrior thing?
That's a good question.
Are they thinking about people who already know how to do DIY?
Right, who have all the tools and experience?
Or are they targeting people who just dream about like a quick fix,
I think it's more the second one.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. Most people are busy. They want things done fast.
Right.
This letter is playing on that, that desire for instant gratification.
Makes sense. So how do they try to convince us? Well, the letter is full of these glowing testimonials from customers.
Okay.
Like Patty Clark. She raves about how the photos inspired her. Ryan and Chloe say it's the best collection they've ever bought. Okay.
And Terry Lewis claims she saved thousands of dollars
Wow.
using their tips.
Testimonials can be really convincing.
Right.
But you always have to look deeper. You know?
Deeper.
Yeah. Like, did these people actually finish their projects?
Right.
Did those cost savings include everything?
Like what?
Like permits or the price of materials?
Oh, right.
It's always good to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, I'm always a little skeptical of online reviews.
I hear you.
It's hard to know if they're real or if they're just cherry-picked to make the product look good.
Yeah.
What do you think? How much should we trust these testimonials?
That's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
Don't just take those statements at face value.
Right.
Think about what they're not saying.
Oh, okay.
What about the challenges they faced?
Yeah.
How much time and effort did it really take? A letter only highlights the good stuff.
Right.
It downplays any potential problems.
Okay, that's a good point. Let's move on to the actual product itself.
They brag about having over 7,000 designs.
Wow, that's a lot.
Covering front yards, backyards, even gardens. They say they've got plans for all skill levels, from beginners to pros.
Oh, wow.
And they even promise these affordable upgrades.
Upgrades?
Yeah, to increase your property value.
Interesting.
It's interesting how they use the sheer number of designs as a selling point, right?
Yes.
7,000 makes you think there must be something in there for me, right?
Yeah, like you can't possibly run out of ideas.
Exactly. But could that also be a bad thing?
Oh, how so?
Imagine trying to look through 7,000 designs.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be overwhelming?
Yeah, especially for someone who's new to landscaping.
Right.
Who might not even know where to start.
Exactly.
You're right, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Having so many choices can be paralyzing.
Especially with something as complex as landscaping.
Absolutely.
And remember what you said earlier
about
them targeting people who want things done quickly.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work with spending hours or even days just browsing through designs?
That's a good point.
Right.
It's like they're trying to gloss over that tension. They emphasize instant gratification.
Right.
And overwhelming choice. But those two things don't really go together, do they?
No, they don't. It makes you wonder, is this product designed to give you choices?
Right.
Or is it designed to make you feel like you're missing out if you don't buy it?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
We should keep that in mind as we look closer at the features, potential drawbacks.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we talked about the number of designs, but what about the designs themselves? Are they any good?
Yeah, that's a big question. And the letter kind of avoids it.
What do you mean?
Well, they use these vague terms like award-winning
and
professional, But we don't actually know anything about the designers, like their qualifications or their approach to landscaping.
Right, and even if the designs look nice in the pictures, there's the whole issue of practicality, right?
Oh, absolutely.
How do they take into account different climates and soil types?
Exactly.
Even local regulations. A design might look amazing in a photo, but not work at all in your actual yard.
That's so true. Landscaping isn't just about picking a pretty picture.
Right.
It's about understanding the environment, choosing the right plants, and making sure everything works together.
You know, it reminds me of that time I tried to grow tomatoes in my backyard.
Oh, yeah.
I picked this beautiful heirloom variety, planted them carefully, and they completely wilted in the summer heat.
Oh, no.
Turns out they needed more shade and different soil.
Yeah, you see, even with the best intentions, there's a learning curve to this.
Right.
And this letter seems to downplay that.
Yeah, speaking of downplaying, let's talk about the DIY instructions.
Go ahead.
They make it sound so easy.
Yeah.
Easy to follow steps, transform your yard in a weekend.
Right, right.
But landscaping can be really hard work, can't it?
Absolutely.
You might need special tools.
You might?
You might need to know how to prepare the soil, build retaining walls,
Yeah.
even install irrigation systems.
All that stuff.
The letter mentions step-by-step guides. But how detailed are they really?
That's the question.
Do they assume you already know certain things?
Good point.
It makes me think of those furniture assembly instructions.
Oh, yeah.
With a million tiny parts.
Yeah.
And a diagram that looks like hieroglyphics.
You're just like, what is this?
Right. You spend hours trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then the final result looks nothing like the picture on the box.
That's a great analogy.
It really highlights a concern, though.
What's that?
The letter focuses on speed and ease.
Yeah.
But DIY landscaping can be really time-consuming.
It can.
Physically demanding. And even dangerous if you're not careful.
Yeah, you have to be really careful.
So are they being honest about the potential challenges? Or are they setting unrealistic expectations?
Right, to make the product seem better. Yeah. It's worth thinking about.
Okay.
The letter really focuses on the dream,
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful transformed yard.
Right.
But it doesn't talk about the hard work and potential frustration along the way.
That's true. And what about support?
Support.
Yeah, if you get stuck, who do you turn to?
Oh, that's a good point.
They mention a customer service team.
Right.
But is that just for technical issues?
I see what you mean.
Or can they actually give you landscaping advice?
That's a key question.
Imagine going through 7,000 designs, picking one.
Right.
And then realizing you have no idea how to actually do it.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Or even worse, you make a big mistake because you misunderstood the instructions.
Oh, yeah.
Or didn't know you needed a permit for something.
It happens.
These are all valid concerns that the letter just doesn't address.
You're right.
It creates this illusion of simplicity and instant success. But landscaping can be much more complicated than that.
It definitely can.
And you know what else caught my eye?
What's that?
They're really pushing those bonus items.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
The landscaping videos, the Secrets Revealed guide,
Okay.
even an organic vegetable gardening guide. It's like they're trying to make the deal sweeter with all this extra stuff.
It's a classic tactic.
Is it?
Yeah, bundling in bonus material to make it seem like you're getting more value.
Okay.
But the question is it actually useful content?
Right, or is it just filler to make the offer look better?
Exactly.
Are those videos professionally made?
Right.
Or are they just shaky footage from someone's backyard?
Yeah, good point.
Is the Secrets Revealed guide full of real insights? Or just generic advice you could find anywhere online?
We need to be careful.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in getting more for your money.
Right.
But sometimes quality is more important than quantity.
That's so true. And speaking of quality,
Yeah.
there's one more claim in the letter that I found hard to believe.
Oh, really? What's that?
They say these designs are suitable for nearly any yard, climate, country, trend, preference, and art form.
Wow, really?
I mean, come on, isn't landscaping really specific to the environment?
It is. That's where the marketing hype gets out of control. They're trying to create a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
But in reality, what works in one place might not work somewhere else.
Exactly. And what about things like soil type, sunlight exposure, local regulations, even pests?
All important factors.
A design might look amazing on a computer,
Yeah.
but be a total disaster when you try to actually build it.
You're right.
It shows how important it is to do your own research.
Absolutely.
Don't just rely on what the sales letter says.
Good advice.
So it seems like there's a disconnect between what the letter promises and the realities of actually doing landscaping.
Totally. The letter makes it seem easy and instant,
Yeah.
but we're seeing that there's probably more to the story.
Okay, let's take a minute to go over what we've learned.
Sounds good.
And then we'll wrap things up in our last segment. All right, so we've really dug into this ideas for landscaping sales letter.
We have.
We've seen the good stuff, the promises.
Yeah.
But we've also found some things that make you wonder,
Definitely.
red flags.
Oh.
It's time to put it all together
Okay.
and figure out what this means for you, the listener.
Right.
So, quick recap. Ideas for landscaping.
Yeah.
They're selling themselves as a way to get a beautiful yard on a budget by doing it yourself.
Yeah.
They're tempting you with tons of designs,
Right. Yeah.
bonus content, a money-back guarantee. They even play on that urge to get things done fast.
Oh, yeah. Instant gratification.
Exactly. But we've also found some questions the letter kind of skips over.
We have.
Like, is the design quality really there?
That's a big one.
Are the DIY instructions realistic for everyone?
Good point. For all skill levels.
And are those bonus items really helpful?
Right? Or are they just there to make the offer look better?
Right. Exactly. And let's not forget that claim about the designs working in nearly DNEA yard.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Sounds a little too good to be true, right?
It does.
Especially with all the things that actually go into good landscaping.
So many factors.
So, what does this all mean for you?
Yeah, good question.
If you're ready to transform your yard, is ideas for landscaping the easy solution they claim it is?
Right.
Or is it going to be a big headache?
Could be either one.
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is.
And I think the answer depends on you.
On the listener.
Yeah, on your needs and what you expect.
Okay.
If you're already good at DIY, comfortable with tons of choices,
Yeah.
you've got the tools, and you like a challenge, maybe this could work for you.
Maybe, but...
But if you're new to landscaping,
Right.
or you need clear instructions and help along the way, this might not be the best choice.
It might be too overwhelming.
Yeah, imagine getting halfway through a project and realizing you're in over your head. And think about the time commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Even if the instructions are good, landscaping is work.
It is.
It's physically demanding,
Well.
and there's a lot of trial and error.
Especially with plants you haven't worked with before.
You gotta be realistic.
Absolutely.
The letter makes it sound effortless.
Right, like magic.
But the reality is,
Yeah.
landscaping is usually more complicated than that.
Way more.
So here's something to think about.
Okay.
Would you rather spend hours looking through thousands of designs,
Wow, that's a lot.
or would it be better to talk to a local landscaper?
Interesting.
Someone who can make a plan just for you.
A custom plan.
Exactly. For your yard and your needs.
That makes a lot of sense.
Sometimes that personal advice is invaluable.
It can be.
A local expert can look at your soil, your climate,
Right.
your current landscape,
Right.
and help you pick things that will actually grow well.
Plants that will thrive.
Yeah. And you might even save money in the long run
How so?
by avoiding those costly mistakes.
Oh, like planting the wrong things?
Or having to redo things that weren't done right the first time.
Makes sense.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Landscaping is an investment.
Yeah.
You're putting time, effort, and money into it.
You are.
To create a space you'll enjoy for years,
For a long time.
it's worth taking the time to make good decisions.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
we want to leave you with one final thought.
I'm listening.
Think about how you make decisions.
Yeah.
Do you like having tons of options?
So many choices.
Or do you prefer a smaller selection?
Yeah.
One that's tailored to your needs?
Right. Already narrowed down.
Because sometimes less is more.
I like that.
Don't get swept away by the huge number of designs
Right.
or the promise of a quick fix.
Big advice.
Focus on what really matters.
What's that?
Quality, practicality, and a design that works for you.
Your unique situation.
Exactly. And on that note,
Yeah.
we'll leave you to ponder those questions.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening. And remember, when it comes to your outdoor space, make informed choices and enjoy the process.